good? Can you be good? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day. I am currently here with little devil Mila here, and it is the rainiest, gloomiest day in the history of the entire universe. So I figured it would be a perfect time to film a Q&A. So I know I haven't been as active on here as I said I was going to be, and as much as I wanted to be. To be honest, it's been kind of a rough couple of weeks. It turns out that going from living with your boyfriend full-time to having him 4,000 miles away takes a bit of a toll, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been a bit stressed about that more recently than even at the beginning, and yeah, it's just been a lot. We're fighting through the visa process, as you guys know, and everything else, so it's just kind of overwhelming. I've been kind of off. I haven't wanted to sit in front of the camera, but I do have a lot of stuff going on, and there's literally no reason for me to not be posting videos. I am recording videos, which is part of it. It's like I've been recording my workouts at the gym, and I recorded even like a get ready with me the other day. Like, I'm recording stuff that I've been wanting to record, but for some reason I haven't put it out there. And I think part of it, and this like comes with the territory, you will not catch me complaining, but I have gotten like, you know, a lot of hateful comments about certain things recently, and I think I've been nervous to post anything because as much as I don't like to let them get to me, sometimes they do, especially when I'm in like this sensitive time in my life. Yeah, and it's a little difficult. So I've been recording a lot because recording actually makes me happy. Like, it brings me joy, and like I'm excited to share helpful things to you guys and connect with you. But posting it right now is sometimes a little bit scary. So that's the truth. That's kind of what's going on. And of course, like, the good comments totally outweigh the bad, but you know, it's like sometimes it's like when you go to work and like one person says something that just kind of like throws off your day. It's kind of how it's been, and that's something that's like on me. I need to work on that and like not letting things get to me so much, because really I'm the only one that like knows what's going on with me, so I need to keep that in mind. Yeah, but that's what's happening. But I'm making an effort because at the end of the day, like, posting these videos and talking to you guys is what makes me happy, and so I need to do it more. Like, I'm just hurting myself if I'm not. And on another note, like, part of the reason is I've been really working on something super, super special for you guys. I had this big plan to do this one thing, and then it all kind of like got smacked out of the way, and I was like, you know, this isn't good enough for you. Like, this isn't what I want. Mila has a crunchy toy. We're not playing with those while I record, girl. Yeah, so I was working really, really hard on something, and then by the end of it, I was kind of like, I don't want to give you guys something that isn't the absolute best that it can be, so it's kind of being put on hold while I figure out a better option, but what I am kind of talking about is I want to, and I'm going to, come out with online coaching for you guys, something very personalized where we can work on your fitness, we can work on your diet together, your nutrition, all of that all together in one. And I also want to provide something so personal that you can have like a weekly call with me, or we can video chat, or whatever that means. I'm trying to figure out the absolute best way to provide that to you, where everyone gets exactly what their money is worth. I have had a lot of coaches in my time that I've received something less than what I expected, and I don't want to give that to you guys, so I'm really putting my head down and working hard on figuring out the best way to do that. But do know that it is coming. There will be online coaching coming. I know a lot of you guys ask me questions and things all the time, and I wish that I could just like have more time to spend with you on your goals and your needs, and be able to be there for you with that. So that's what's going on. Without further ado, let's jump into this Q&A. You guys asked me some questions on Instagram a couple of days ago, and we're gonna go through them right now. So, let's see. All right, first question is, what is your favorite muscle group to work? What is your training split? This is from Sasha. So this is something that I actually want to make a video on because I've changed up my training split completely. I found that I was getting kind of bored and like unmotivated, especially when like I'm sad, like motivation is not super high. So I figured I needed to change it up, and I actually wrote myself an entire new plan with a new split. So before I was doing like Monday glutes, Tuesday back buys, Wednesday chest tries, Thursday legs, Friday shoulders kind of split. And now I have changed it up to 2 lower days followed by 1 upper day and repeat. So I'm doing a lot of different exercises, things I wasn't used to, a lot more like heavy compound movements. The soreness is intense. I'm definitely not used to doing so many lower days, but especially when it came to competing, my lower body was totally my weakness, and I just need to come in a lot stronger next year if I want to compete. So I've changed up that split, and I would say my favorite muscle group to work now is actually glutes. Like, typical girl, I know, but I love training glutes now. When I was on prep and like when I lived in England, I despised training legs. It was like the worst thing for me in the world. But now that I'm on off season and I'm eating and I have energy, I love to train my glutes. So that is the current fave. Best place to buy bikinis. Ooh, I like this one. So I have a lot of bikinis. It's really out of control. I have always loved buying bikinis. When I was in high school, that's what I spent my money on. Like, I love a good bikini. So my top budget bikini place is 1000% Zaful. So many people are nervous to buy from Zaful because it's so inexpensive, and you're like, how can it be good? But I swear to God, when I went to the Caymans, every bathing suit I wore pretty much was from Zaful. They're really, really good quality. Sometimes you'll get one that fits a little weird, but I mean, I don't know, honestly, they're so good. And if you want to check them out, I do have a video on my channel with a bunch of Zaful suits. The other places, I love ALPHALETE bikinis. They're really, really like trendy. They have high-waisted, like cool different designed ones. Fashion Nova also has some really cute ones. Oh, and like before I started online shopping for bikinis, I always shopped at Target for my bathing suits. They have like a giant selection, and they always have really cute strapless ones. So if you like need a place to go in store, I would recommend Target. Advice for a 20-year-old that has never had a girlfriend before. Don't rush, you're 20, you don't need a girlfriend. Don't rush, you're 20, like enjoy your life and it will come when it's meant to come. That's literally it. Like, I meet so many girls that ask me for relationship advice and things, and they're like, oh, like I'm 19 and I'm doing this long distance thing and da-da-da, and like I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you know, like you're young, like if it feels right, stay. If it feels good, if it makes you happy, like my thing is, if it brings more joy to your life than pain, then it's probably a good thing for you. Like, literally measure the pros and cons, and is your pro list higher than your con list? But you don't have to rush. Like, you know, if you're happy, awesome. If the right person comes along, awesome, try it out. But like, remember that you're young, like you have so much time to like buckle down and be in a serious relationship. Brandon and I are a very special case because we met young and we like lasted a really long time, and we just like still love each other 5 years later. So yeah, but you don't expect that, you know, just take your time and the right person will always come. What do you do on your bad days when you don't have motivation to do anything? The bad days where you don't have motivation to do anything are the most important days that you do something. They really, really are, and recently I have had a lot of these days because, you know, it's like I went from waking up with my best friend and doing life together to waking up in an empty apartment without him. And it's hard to get up in the morning sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. It's sad, and I don't know, it's just difficult. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like every day is perfect for me because it really isn't, and I cry a lot and I have a hard time a lot. And the most important thing is to do something. So for me, it's actually really good that I have Mila because she forces me to like get up and walk her and get out of the house kind of thing. So if I'm having a really bad day, I'll get up, I'll walk Mila, I'll go get a cup of coffee or something to eat that like makes me feel good, whatever that may be, and then I'll come home and I'll write like a plan for the day. I have a planner. Let me actually go get it. Okay, so this is my planner. Some of you guys have asked about this because I made a post about it on Instagram, but I live by these. I've always used this kind of planner. It's called a happy planner, and this is what it looks like right here. And inside, it just has like a full calendar, and then it has a place where you can track your days. So this is, oh, I dropped something, but this is kind of what mine looks like. So I have, for this one, for example, I have, I usually do work, other, and then my workout stuff, so I kind of separate it. So this is like a Thursday, this is the 8th. So I have an IG post, edit a YouTube video, record a new YouTube video for work. For my miscellaneous, I had to do something for my website. And then for my other stuff down here, I have my gym. I have that I was working at the bar that I work at 3 o'clock, and then to work on my Poshmark. So if I'm feeling really, really unmotivated and like I don't want to do anything or get out of bed, then I pick up this and I'm like, okay, make yourself a plan for a day to kind of hold myself accountable, because obviously, like, you know, I don't have somebody looking over my shoulder telling me to do my job. It's up to me. So if you guys are like college students or something, I really recommend that planner. It's called the Happy Planner. Yeah, and it's a good one. Keeps me on track. How do you and Brandon handle jealousy in the fitness industry? This is an interesting question. I actually get this question pretty often, which is surprising. And I don't totally know what it means, because it's like, is there jealousy between like other influencers than us, or is it like, I don't know. You know what I mean? If I'm assuming it means like, do I get jealous when Brandon is like with other girls? And no, the answer is no, because I trust Brandon and it is what it is. And like, especially in the fitness industry specifically, if Brandon is doing a photo shoot with another girl, or he's like doing an event and there's girls or whatever it is, like I also work with those people and like we're all kind of in the same industry. So it just seems kind of silly, like it's work. You know what I mean? Like you don't get jealous if your boyfriend goes to work and he has a coworker who's a female, do you? Like it's the same thing. Like you just have to think of it that way. And that's how I think of it. I'm just like, well, like work is work and that's it. Obviously there are times where like I'm a human and sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, I'm a little jealous that this person's spending time with him or whatever it is. And obviously right now I'm jealous of everyone that's spending time with him, and it sucks because like I can't be there and spend time with him myself. So I'm just jealous that like other people get to be near him and I don't. Like that's difficult because I don't even have the option right now, you know what I mean? But yeah, in general, it's just like you have to trust who you're with, and if you don't, then you really have nothing. So like you have no choice but to trust that person if you want it to work. So yeah, I guess that's how we handle it. On the other side of it, it's like when guys comment on my photos or something, Brandon isn't jealous, and I feel the same way about girls because it's like we're the ones that are together at the end of the day. Like we've been together so long, and you know, we're not fighting for a visa and going through all of this for it to not work. So like a comment is a comment, a like is a like it is what it is. Like I'm still his and he's still mine, and nothing else really matters, you know? How do you get the waves? Your hair looks amazing. So when I posted this, I had curly hair, and that's because my hair is actually naturally super, super curly. It's like pretty spirally curly, and I literally just get out of the shower and I put in Skinny Serum by Paul Mitchell. It looks like this, and yeah, it's my favorite product, and that's all I use, and I just kind of scrunch it up and leave it. So how did you start getting your name out to test products for companies, etc.? Yeah, I should talk about this actually because I get this question pretty freaking often. So the way that I started getting like free products and that kind of thing is I posted informational, valuable content using products that I liked. That's literally how simple it is. People are always like, hey, I want ALPHALETE to notice me. And personally, I bought ALPHALETE clothing for years. Like I actually bought Brandon the very first hoodie that ALPHALETE ever released for Christmas in like 2015. So like I bought ALPHALETE for almost 5 years before they reached out to me, and I'm not saying that it's the same. Like I bought from them when they were a very small company, and obviously they're huge now. But it's just a matter of like posting good content in their stuff. Like let them know that you like it, let them know that you appreciate it. And this goes for anything. Like I posted in ALPHALETE constantly, and I made sure my best photos were in ALPHALETE because I wanted them to say like, hey, this girl loves our brand, respects our brand, wants to work with us, and we want to work with her. Because at the end of the day, like when you partner with any brand, it's because you have to provide value to them. I mean, obviously working with ALPHALETE provides a lot of value to me as far as like I get to work with my favorite company ever, and it's literally a dream come true for me to work with ALPHALETE. You guys know this, and that's the best, but I do still have to provide some kind of service. I have to provide value to them. Otherwise the partnership doesn't work. So you essentially have to prove to companies that you will be valuable to them in some way. And does that mean you are going to, you know, bring like positive light to their brand because you stand for something that they respect and they appreciate or that they stand for? Or does that mean you're gonna make great sales for them, or you're gonna help them make cool content? Like whatever that is, you have to figure out what your value is going to be to a brand and just show that. Literally just, you know, post about it, work on making the best stuff that you can, because you have to think about it like if you were thinking about hiring somebody for like a job, if you're thinking as far as like Instagram, I want companies to send me free products kind of stuff, if you were hiring somebody to do that and you looked at their page and they had 3 photos and half their body was blurred or blacked out or whatever it is, then that company isn't gonna be like, oh, they're gonna represent our brand so well. You have to think of your social media as a resume to a degree. Like if you do want to work with brands. Obviously my social media is like very near and dear to my heart, and I get to share my life with you guys, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Like the best decision I've ever made is quitting my job and doing this because I I get to do so much and like talk to so many people and connect with so many people and hopefully be the person that I needed when I was like a 16-year-old girl kind of thing. But it's also a resume. Like for me to make it a job, it has to be good and provide value, and you have to work hard on it. So that is my best advice as far as that goes. Like if that means you have a friend take your photos once a week. I know Brandon and I used to do like content days where we'd go and record a whole bunch of workouts all in one day, so we had content for the rest of the week. Or I know girls that will do photo shoots with their friends. Like once a month they'll be like, we're gonna bring all of like the clothes that we really like and we're gonna do a photo shoot together, so we all have pictures to post for this company, XYZ, something like that. You know, you just have to be creative. Right now I am living, dying, breathing with this tripod that the camera is on right now because I don't have a person to help me. So I'm just doing my best. I have a girlfriend that's gonna help me with some photos in a couple weeks, and yeah, like it'll happen, like, and it'll happen at the right time, but you do have to work hard for it, and eventually the companies that you want to notice you hopefully will. What's your number one motivation? I would say my number one motivation is the occasional message I get from a girl that said, hey, like, I watched your videos and you made me believe that like it was possible to be healthy and to change and to get out of that slump I was in, or whatever it is. Like that is my motivation. That's why I try to be so open and honest on here, because the reality is, like, when I started my YouTube channel, I was in a bad place, and I started YouTube as like an outlet, like a way to, you know, get out of that and share and hopefully help someone else. And that's my motivation. It's like when somebody messages me and they're like, hey, I've been following you from the start and you've inspired me to like make a change in my life, whether that be physical or mental or whatever it is. Like that's my motivation. I get those messages and I get so emotional. You wouldn't believe how emotional I am on freaking ALPHALETE launch days. It's a joke. Because I swear, and I say this all the time, I swear I'm talking to myself and like nobody's listening to any of this, and I'm just like hoping that I help somebody. But on ALPHALETE launch days, people come out from the cracks and they're like, hey, I watch your videos. I mean, people who have never messaged me before or have never commented on a photo, because I do notice like every comment, every message, like I know who you are. And yeah, on the launch days, people are like, hey, I followed you and you did this for me, and like, so I used your code to support you. And it blows my mind. I literally like spend launch days crying all day. I swear to God. I should just like record a launch day reaction once, because it's just like the most special thing in the world, and it makes me realize like that I do have power to, you know, be there for you and be a friend to you if you don't have one where you are right now, because that's what you guys essentially are to me, because I don't know a lot of people here. So this is like my outlet, and it makes me feel good, and I hope that watching my videos and like connecting with me makes you feel good. Yeah, and that keeps me going. That's what makes me do this stuff, you know? Any tips you have for building yourself as a business or a brand? Do you guys want me to make a whole video on this? There is a lot of questions on this. If you want a video on like social media and like making it a job kind of stuff, then let me know in the comments and I can make you a video about that, because my journey here was like very different than a lot of people, and I know I'm like literally not as big as like anyone that you probably follow on YouTube, but you know, I did do it from the ground up since like January, just this year, and now it's my job. So if you guys do want to have a video about that, let me know and I can make that happen. Do you believe long distance relationships work for long periods of time, for a year, etc.? I do. I've been in a long distance relationship for a long time with Brandon, and we used to spend 2 months apart before we saw each other. I am actually, great news, I don't know if I've shared this, I'm going to see Brandon on September 9th. I fly out September 8th, and I'm going to be in England with him for 10 days. And during those 10 days, we will get our decision about our visa application. So we will find out whether or not he is going to get his visa, which is crazy. So if you're watching this, cross your fingers for me. Pray for me if you pray. I'm praying every second that the visa goes through. And then if it does, then he'll hopefully be back by the end of September, which is huge. But yeah, anyway, back to the question. Do long distance relationships work? I think yes. You just have to be committed to them. You have to be committed that it's going to be hard and that you're going to have hard times, and you have to work at it. Like, you have to work harder at a long distance relationship than you do at a regular, like, live together every second kind of relationship, because communication is both the most important thing and the hardest thing. And Brandon and I talk all the time, because it's like the only thing we have is these. Like, this is what holds our relationship together essentially, and you know, if we lose this, or if it breaks, or, you know, if it dies for a long period of time, whatever it is, then it's like, it kind of cuts off communication, which is the most important thing. So my biggest suggestion to anyone in a long distance relationship is you have to learn how to communicate. You have to literally focus on it, and you have to work at it. And if that means, you know, if you're super busy people, if that means you schedule times where you're gonna FaceTime, to make sure that you do it, because it is important, because this is all you have. So like if you're busy people, you can make it work, but you have to find times. Brandon and I have pretty open schedules, so like we can kind of talk whenever, and I think that's really, really helpful. And I know that isn't the case for everybody, so you have to learn how to make the distance feel less. Like a good example is, this is the candle. This just happens to be sitting here. This is the candle that I always burn in my house. It's the maple butter Yankee candle, and it smells like pancakes. Like, it's so good. And I knew Brandon was like missing here home, especially last week. So I ordered the candle on Amazon, and I got it shipped to his house so he can burn it in his room, and it smells a little bit like home, you know, stuff like that. You just have to be thoughtful and like remind that person that you're thinking of them and that you love them, and try to make, you know, the oceans feel a little bit smaller between the two of you. And that makes a big difference. Last one, have you ever done a bulk? If so, any tips on getting over insecurities of gaining weight? So I have done a bulk in the past. I guess technically right now I should be on like a lean bulk. I definitely am gaining weight. A bulk is really important. I definitely don't think that dirty bulks are necessary if you're not like a male bodybuilder. Like if you're a bikini competitor, yeah, great to bulk, but you don't need to be like dirty bulking, gaining 50 pounds before your next competition season. Like it's just not, it's silly. Like you don't need to do that. I've gained about 10, maybe more pounds since my show, which I feel like for somebody like my body type, my age, whatever, that's pretty like average. And it is hard because it's like things fit me before and I felt really good in certain pieces of clothing that I don't feel good in now. I definitely feel different in a bathing suit, but it's also like I'm really proud of what my body can do. And I always say to remember that, like, it is so cool, and people literally don't realize this, like it is so cool, especially as a female, that we can, you know, get competition lean, we can get to like a healthy body weight, we can carry children. Like there are so many amazing things that our body can do, and they're all just stages of it. And you kind of have to appreciate that your body is at different stages if you're trying to reach your goals. So like my body was at a very like low weight, very conditioned for stage. And it's funny because every day when I was prepping, I was like, I'm not getting lean, I'm not losing weight, I look the same. And I look back at those photos now and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I disappeared. So I appreciate now where I am. Like I appreciate my energy levels and that I feel healthy and that I feel better. And you have to look at a bulk as that way, because ideally if you know, just came from a dieting phase and like a lean phase, then what you're doing now is restoring your body, and you have to look at a bulk that way. You know, you're restoring your energy, you're restoring some of the fat content that your body needs to feel good and survive, and you're able to use your muscles more and lift heavier weight, and that's exciting. So I try to see the positive in a bulk, although like the image is a little bit harder sometimes. It's like, hey, like I'm taking care of my body now, and it can do things on this bulk that it couldn't do during my diet phase. So the insecurity, when I start to feel it, I kind of go into that mindset like, hey, you know, if I was lean, if I was 10 pounds leaner right now, then I wouldn't be able to go to the gym and do this lift that I want to do. I wouldn't be able to, you know, run outside with Mila because I wouldn't have the energy, things like that. So try to appreciate like what your body can do now versus what it could do on the diet, and then maybe you can start looking at it as like a phase, and an important phase and a good one, and you're taking care of you, and it's not about like getting fat, and it's not what it means, you know. Try to see it as like what's going on the inside and the more life that you can live because of the bulk rather than just what it looks like. So, all right, I'm gonna end the video right there, you guys. I am actually going to church, and then, yeah, I have a super busy day tomorrow. I'm actually gonna record some of the day for you guys. I am finally doing my closet makeover. I have literally spent weeks trying to find the pieces that I need to fix my closet and make it everything that I want. So that is gonna be tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope I answered some of your questions and this was helpful to you in some way. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have any other questions or if there's anything specifically that you want to see. And quickly, thank you so much to everyone who used my code on the ALPHALETE launch last weekend. It was literally the best, and I love talking to you guys and sending you video messages and stuff when you use it so that we can, you know, talk about what you got, and I can see you in it now, and that just means the world, and it's why I get to sit here and do this for you. So thank you guys for the support as always. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Not doing this the whole video, girl.